Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. Hope you guys are having a great day today. Today we are just going to chit chat about drugstore makeup. I'm doing a tag called the drugstore makeup tag. I recently saw a video from Jessica Braun. She had done this tag. I found the questions very interesting. It's basically an old drugstore tag with some new questions, and I will also leave the original creator of this tag, which I believe is Jen, who has a very popular Instagram account, the name of which I'm completely forgetting right now, so sorry. But anyways, I'm doing this tag with my good friend Thanuja from Thanuja's Space. You guys probably already know her. If you don't, then please do go ahead and check out her channel. She has a lot of good content on her channel. She does makeup reviews, tutorials, lots of swatches, lipstick swatches, drugstore makeup related reviews, a lot of lifestyle content as well. So do go ahead and check out her channel. I really love her content.
Hi guys, really loves drugstore makeup. The reason I wanted to do a tag with her is she's one of those persons who tries lots of makeup, not just for the sake of trying, but she's super passionate about it. But I like Milani's packaging a little bit more because it looks more luxe. So maybe Milani. Releases they have, it's super hyped, and I think now it's getting a little bit boring, honestly. I will see you soon with another video. Bye guys.
Okay, so let's get started with this tag. There are a lot of questions, so I apologize in advance if this video is too long. I can't do anything about it, and in these kind of tag videos I tend to talk a lot. So there are 18 questions, so I am sure this video is going to be at least 18 minutes long, so brace yourself for the joyride. Before we start, I just want to quickly mention that drugstore here in Singapore is not as expansive, not as huge as US. We do have drugstore here and we do have drugstore brands, but you don't get so many brands at the drugstore here, and drugstore also is very expensive here. So do keep that in mind. I will also include some Indian brands probably in this video, but do keep that in mind that those brands necessarily are not drugstore brands in India. I'm sort of comparing the prices of those brands and the drugstore prices here in Singapore and putting them in the same category. Okay, that being said, let's quickly get started with the video. The first question is, if you could only use one drugstore or affordable brand, what would it be? So out of all the drugstore brands which are available here in Singapore, I would say Milani is one drugstore brand which I will be comfortable using throughout my life. I love Milani brand products. I think I have tried almost all kind of products from Milani except their eye stuff, eyeliners and all. I haven't tried too much. I have tried the mascara, which is really good. They have one of my favorite foundations, the Conceal and Perfect foundation. Their eyeshadow formula is pretty good, and eyeshadow is my weakness. Their blushes are really nice, their highlighters are really good, their bronzers are really good. So Milani, I think, is a wholesome brand with a lot of good products and which are of good quality. So I think I will be pretty comfortable using Milani. And I'm so happy that Milani is available at the drugstore near my house where we have recently moved to. Earlier I didn't have access to Milani that much, but now I do. I'm just so happy about it. Okay, next question is, what's the most underrated drugstore affordable brand? There is a brand called Australis Makeup, which I think is pretty underrated. They have a lot of good products. They have everything, and Australis Makeup is also available in India, but still not many people talk about this brand. This is an Australian brand, Australian drugstore brand. They are cruelty free as well. They are vegan, so it's a very good ethical brand, but not too many people talk about it. Their base products are pretty nice. Their highlighters, blushes are very good. Even the eyeshadow palettes are really nice. So yeah, I think Australis. Then there is Catrice Cosmetics, which is available here, which is not too popular. People talk about Essence a lot, but not as much of Catrice. I think they also have a pretty nice affordable price range, especially in Singapore. They are really affordable compared to some other higher end drugstore brands. Palladio is another brand which I think have really interesting product. They are a natural brand, so there is a lot of thought behind their products, a lot of good ingredients. Although their products also go bad very quickly because they have very natural ingredients without much preservatives and everything, but still I feel they have really nice products and not that talked about. And another one which I will say which is not that talked about in spite of being very popular in US as well is Flower Beauty. I don't see a lot of YouTubers talking about this brand many times. Unfortunately, Flower Beauty is not available here, otherwise I would be talking about the brand because I see so many fun things from this brand. I would love to try Flower Beauty, but I haven't been able to so far. Okay, next question is, what's the most overrated drugstore affordable brand? This is a very tricky question. At the drugstore here, there are not that many brands. Out of the most overrated ones or the most popular ones which are available here are Revlon, Maybelline and L'Oreal. The three of them have their positives and negatives. If I have to really choose between Maybelline, L'Oreal and Revlon, I feel like Revlon maybe is a little bit too overrated. I don't know, they don't have too many releases, although they recently did that Revlon Candid launch. They have a whole new line, but before that there were just not too many releases, and their lipsticks don't excite me. Their base products are pretty nice, I would say. Their powder, the foundation, concealer is okay. Other than that, they don't have a lot of exciting things, but still Revlon is talked about quite a lot. Okay, next question, fourth question, what is your favorite drugstore product under $5? Okay, now as I already mentioned, Singapore is very expensive. The drugstore is also very expensive. $5 would be around 6.5-7 Singapore dollars. For 6.5-7 Singapore dollars, you're hardly going to get anything at the drugstore here. Probably from Palladio you can get some lipsticks. Other than that, very difficult. Essence, you will get some things. So I would say from Essence only, because that's the brand I think you will get most of the less than $5 kind of things. And from Essence, the one thing which I really love and swear by is the Essence Lash Princess Mascara, which also I think is not less than $5. It is around $6.5-7 if I'm not wrong. And this mascara, which is one of my holy grail mascaras, is not actually available at the drugstore. I have to order it from some other resellers, so I actually pay around $11 to $12 for this mascara. Next question is, what is a hidden gem from the drugstore that no one talks about? Okay, so I think there are a few products I found at the drugstore which were like hidden gem kind of quality. First one is the Mistine eyeliners. Now this is not technically a drugstore, as in it's not available at the drugstore, but I found this at departmental store drugstores, a drugstore area of a departmental store. So this is the brand Mistine. It is actually a Bangkok or a Thailand based drugstore brand, and I love this eyeliners. The Maxi Black eyeliner is one of their eyeliners, and they also have Super Black liner. They have 3 or 4 variants. All of the eyeliners, they are just so good. I have tried 3 of them, I think. I love them. The Mistine Maxi Black liners, they are super black, and it's very easy to do a wing with this liner, and they don't budge. They stay on the lash line for so long. Then the Palladio blushes, these are really nice from Palladio. I have 3 or 4 of them. All of them I love. The colors are very pretty. They are matte blushes. The pigmentation is very nice. They blend on the skin very nicely, and the staying power is also very good. So they look very pretty. Love the Palladio blushes, and they are just $5 or $6 only. One thing which I haven't tried, but I have just swatched them at the drugstore, and I feel they are amazing. The Australis eyeshadows, they have 2 or 3 new eyeshadows. They are more in the neutral kind of zone, and they have mattes and metallics, but they are just so good. I have been swatching them every time I go to the drugstore, and they are really good. Especially the metallics, they are just super foiled, and the mattes also, they feel very soft and pigmented. So I feel like they will be good, but I haven't seen anyone review those eyeshadows or talk about them. Next question is, what's your favorite drugstore foundation? So I think there are 3 which are at the top. First one is what I'm wearing on my skin right now. This is the Milani Conceal Plus Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. I love this foundation. This is a very high coverage, thick consistency foundation. If you have normal to dry skin, you are definitely going to like this foundation. I usually apply a very tiny amount of this foundation since it's very high coverage, but I love the finish of this foundation. It gives a nice smooth finish. And it just makes the skin look so good. The other one is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation in the shade Caramel, which I really like. It's a perfect shade match for me, and it gives a nice smooth semi matte finish on the skin. And the third foundation which I really like is the L'Oreal True Match foundation, which is a more of a dewy skin foundation, very natural everyday kind of foundation, which I like to wear on no makeup sort of days when I don't need a lot of coverage. This one doesn't give a lot of coverage, so I love this one. And recently I have got this foundation here. I have very high hopes from this one. This is the Milani Screen Queen foundation. I got the shade Toasted Chai, and I have high hopes from this one, so I will test this one out and let you guys know for sure how it works out. Next question is, what products do you tend to buy more at the drugstore versus high-end? Okay, so I do buy a lot of things at a Sephora here or in the high-end category, because as I said, drugstore here is quite expensive. If you add a few dollars, $10 or $20, you can get a mid-range high-end category product. So lipsticks, eyeliners, I feel like if I'm paying $20 at the drugstore, might as well pay $30 or $32 and get a Urban Decay eyeliner or a lip liner or a lipstick. So that's my mentality lately. But there are few products which I think are still which I go for at the drugstore first. Mainly eyeliners. I don't buy too many eyeliners at the high-end category because currently I have a lot of eyeliners, and whenever I go to India I stock up on them, especially black eyeliners. India has one of the best formula of eyeliners. Kajal pencils, they are the best, so I buy a lot of eyeliners. Lip liners also, I don't want to spend too much on lip liners. I feel you can get decent ones at the drugstore. Powders, I don't like to spend too much on powders. I have dry skin, so powders I will usually buy at the drugstore, provided I get a good shade match. Shade range is always an issue at the drugstore here. Sometimes concealers also, if the shade range is there. Concealers, lipsticks, a lot of lipsticks I do get at the drugstore. I know recently I have been trying some high-end ones, especially Pat McGrath, but most lipsticks I think in my collection are drugstore. Majority of my lipstick collection is drugstore. But for like complexion products, foundations, I prefer going to high-end these days because of the shade range. That's all. That's the only reason. Okay, next question. What drugstore brand do you think is overpriced? This is very easy. We do get this brand here as well in a few outlets. Physicians Formula, oh my god, it's so expensive here. Like none of the products are below $35. I think they are super expensive, so I hardly buy Physician Formula here. In fact, I think NYX is also getting up there. It's also a little bit pricey these days. So yeah, these are the two brands which come to my mind. Ninth question is, what is your favorite drugstore dupe? This one I had to really think. Oh my god, I couldn't think of a product which I have replaced from the drugstore. I would say a dupe is something which you find at the drugstore, which is so good that you don't buy the high-end counterpart anymore. There is not a single thing which comes to my mind. So I don't think I have really a favorite drugstore dupe. One which comes to my mind, a very close one, is the mascara, the Essence Lash Princess mascara. People say that the It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara is very similar to that, and I will agree. I have used the It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. It's very similar to the Essence Lash Princess. So yeah, I don't buy the It Cosmetics one anymore because I feel it is very similar, so I just go for the Lash Princess. Other than that, nothing else comes to my mind. Even for lipsticks, for example, the Pat McGrath lipsticks, the closest dupes of them will be the Color Bar Sinful Matte lipsticks, but I still really love the Pat McGrath lipsticks. I have not replaced them with the Color Bar ones. 10th question, eyeshadows. What's the best drugstore eyeshadow formula? Can I just say none? Oh my god, I mean, I have tried so many eyeshadow palettes. You guys know I am an eyeshadow junkie. I have tried so many eyeshadow palettes, from high-end, from indie brands, and when I compare those palettes to drugstore brands, I don't see the competition. Drugstore is still way behind in eyeshadow formula, especially here in Singapore. If you walk into a drugstore and you want to buy an eyeshadow, there are not too many options out here. Like too many good ones, very curated ones. You will get big palettes, like the beauty glazed palettes you can get, but those are very big palettes. I am not for those kind of palettes. And recently Australia's makeup does have some good eyeshadow palettes, but on the whole you wouldn't really find that kind of eyeshadows which I am looking for. I know many people may like those simple everyday kind of eyeshadows, but I love eyeshadows. I need good quality eyeshadows, and that kind of eyeshadows are not available at the drugstore here very easily. You might get some Makeup Revolution stuff when there are drugstore sales, then Makeup Revolution and Revolution Beauty, and there are some other few brands which come up that time. So I would say some Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palettes, not all, their formula is not consistent. A little bit more consistency is there in the Colourpop eyeshadow palettes. They are not technically drugstore, but they are available at Ulta in US, so I will include them in this category. So I would say to some extent, I would say Colourpop as a whole, you can say they have good eyeshadow formulation. So if I have to say, oh, maybe NYX also has good eyeshadows, but they are also pretty expensive. So yeah, I would say Colourpop, NYX, to an extent Makeup Revolution, to an extent they have decent eyeshadow formulation. Okay, 11th, what's the worst drugstore eyeshadow formula? Far too many. I have tried so many drugstore eyeshadow formulas as well. Worst ones which I have tried so far, I don't know, maybe the Maybelline one, the nudes palette. Yeah, I think those are one of the worst ones which I have tried. There may be worse, even worse out there. The Catrice eyeshadow palettes are also not very good. The Essence ones are still okay. Yeah, recent eyeshadow palettes, what have I tried from the drugstore? Not too many actually. I have been just buying high-end and indie brands. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to the 12th question. Drugstore brands you used to love but aren't crazy anymore. This is like, I think this one every YouTuber is going to say NYX. I think they have like lost their way a little bit, and I used to be crazy about NYX. I don't buy from them anymore. Firstly, because the entire like range of new products, they don't come to Sephora anymore, and the NYX outlet which is there, it's a little bit too far from where I live, so I don't go to the outlet to purchase. And I don't know, various reasons, I haven't really seen any exciting things from NYX, kind of losing their identity which they had built of being this fun, colorful, young makeup brand. So I feel definitely NYX, and then to an extent I would say Colourpop as well, because I haven't purchased from Colourpop since so long. I was checking that day, I haven't purchased Colourpop this year. That is huge. You guys know how much I used to buy from Colourpop. At one point of time, I used to have just Colourpop videos on my channel, and I was just crazy about them. But recently, last I would say a year or so, they have just released way too many things, and they have just too many things out there, and I just get super confused right now. So you know, there has to be a balance. NYX out there who is not releasing enough exciting things, and Colourpop is releasing too many exciting things that you're kind of confusing the consumer. I think these two brands, I am not crazy about them anymore. I do like them, I do check up on them, I see what they're up to, but I'm not crazy about them anymore. Okay, 13th question. Drugstore product you didn't expect to like but totally wowed you. Am I supposed to give just one answer? It's very difficult. Yes, one liquid lipstick formula which I think wowed me and I didn't expect to like is the Maybelline Superstay Matte Inks. How can I forget? Oh my god, yes. Maybelline liquid lipsticks, I have tried few before, and I've also tried their matte lipsticks. And from what my experience was, I somehow felt like, okay, I'm not going to like this liquid lipsticks, especially at the drugstore. Liquid lipsticks are usually very drying, but I love them. I love the Maybelline Superstay Mattings. I did a video on them as well. I have so many shades, so that is one product I will definitely say it has wowed me. Okay, next question is favorite affordable eyeshadow palette right now. Not too many are out there. I would say some Colourpop eyeshadow palettes are my favorite, but one which I would like to mention is what I have on my eyes right now is this one, the Sofix palette from Makeup Revolution. I really like it. This is how the palette looks like. Love the color story. I have this shade right here in the inner portion, and I have the purples and the pinks in my crease and outer V. Love this palette, and I also really like this one. Where is it? Here, the Colourpop Bye Bye Birdie palette. This is a purpley magenta sort of a palette. Really like this one, so I've used this also for my eye look today. Used this shadow right here. I just lost this eyeshadow. Oh my god. Okay, I will fix it later, but anyways, I have this shade right here in the outer V. I have also this glitter on my eyelid as on the glitter glue. I really like this eye look which I have done today. So yeah, Colourpop formulation, the Makeup Revolution formulation, especially the Sofix palette I like. I also really like the Milani eyeshadows. They are also good quality. So I think in the drugstore category, I just want to mention these 3 brands. Now there are some additional questions which Jessica Braun had added, so let me quickly go through them as well. What brand is most improved? I think Milani. Of late they have some very interesting things. Their eyeshadow game they have leveled up their eyeshadow game. In fact, they have some liquid eyeshadows as well. They are coming out with new base makeup products. Their packaging is also getting a lot better. They have some beautiful highlighting palettes and blush palettes also, I think. So I think Milani is really stepping up. Also, I think Maybelline, they have a lot of new interesting things, especially in the lipstick category. They have a lot of new releases. So I think Maybelline has also stepped up. They have some new eyeshadow palettes, some new mascara, so they're also coming out with a lot of new things. Okay, next question is best new line of products released at the drugstore. I don't think I have an answer for this because the drugstore here it's not like US. You don't get the entire line here. Even if the line comes to Singapore, only just a few shades will come from that line, or like only one product will come from the line. So if I go by Singapore standard, I don't see a best new line of products which has been released at the drugstore. 17th question, brand you feel like is dying out. So we have already covered NYX, Colourpop, which are kind of getting a little boring. They need to step up their game. So they're not completely dead, but I feel like there are few brands which are dying out. Nobody talks about them. Rimmel is one brand. I feel like nobody really talks about them anymore. They have no new releases. We get Rimmel here in Singapore, a drugstore as well. I don't see any new products. I mean, nothing is happening there. Another brand, Bourjois, which is available here in Singapore, nothing, no new releases, nothing. I feel like they have just given up. LA Girl, I don't see much from LA Girl as well. Although recently they had a few releases, like they had eyeshadow palettes and face palettes. But still, I feel like LA Girl was very popular at one point of time. In fact, I was also really crazy about LA Girl. I tried a lot of their products. LA Girl, I feel like still there is hope. They are still doing something. But Rimmel and Bourjois, I'm a little worried about them. And last question, drugstore products you have loved for years. I would say Lakme Iconic Kajal. I really love Lakme Iconic Kajal. This is an Indian brand. And international brand wise, I think Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer. Those two concealers are cult favorites. Everybody loves them. I just love those two concealers. I think drugstore lipsticks, specifically L'Oreal lipsticks, I have loved them for years. L'Oreal lipsticks were the first lipsticks I had purchased like ever, not only from the drugstore, like ever. I love their Comfort Matte lipstick formula. And that was the last question. With that, we have come to the end of this tag video. I will have all the questions listed in the description box. If you want to answer some of the questions, feel free to answer them in the comment section below. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I know it is a little bit too long, but if you liked it, please don't forget to do this. And if you're watching for the first time, or if you have come from Thanuja's channel, then please do consider subscribing to my channel as well. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again really soon in my next video. Bye. Okay guys, I have fixed the eyeshadow. It's fine, not to worry. It's back in. I have pressed it inside. My palette is okay.